up until now, we had a couple of iterations of, let's say, tries of fungible tokens on Bitcoin. We had BRC20s and a couple of others. And out of all of them, runes currently seem to be, just gaining a lot of traction and a lot of adoption from many people in the ecosystem. And this is a big deal because now we're actually having a standard for tokens on Bitcoin, like an official standard that's getting wide-scale adoption. And I've been kind of watching the whole evolution of this happen already on Ethereum, like for the last, 7 years or something. And technically, it's really interesting to see like the integration of fungible tokens on Ethereum have this like big domino effect. We got decentralized autonomous organizations because of it. We got stable coins. Then stable coins gave birth to DeFi. That DeFi gave birth to other things, So it's like really interesting, this very like beautiful natural domino effect that happened on Ethereum. So now that's kind of like I feel like almost I lived one life there watching all of this. And now I'm getting reborn in this ecosystem that's literally starting now kind of from the beginning. And we're just have this like protocol that just launched, and now we can actually build in a new ecosystem in different ways a lot of these exciting projects. So that's kind of currently what's happening. Many people experimenting, many people pushing the boundaries and just thinking in this new context and just ecosystem how to do some of these very exciting things. So personally, being an artist and always thinking about these things through the lens of art, I immediately start to think, what does this mean for art? What does this mean for digital creators? How can maybe I create a token, like an art token that's kind of a conceptual art piece, that's a performance token, So eventually I created this token called ArtIsTheTicker, and I had this mission impossible, which I wanted to secure for myself, the number 10,000, which is something you cannot control. You basically have to, deploy your token, and then you randomly get allocated the next number. So the chances were almost zero for me to get this number, but I tried to time when I deployed my token, and I did not sleep for 24 hours that day, as I was waiting to just time it in the right moment. And eventually I sent my transaction, and I was at that point honestly ready to just go to bed and just sleep. And then as I brush my teeth, I come back, I refresh my screen, and I see that this token I created called ArtIsTheTicker actually secured the rune number 10,000. And I was just completely, I could not believe it really happened. And then it slowly started to spread on Twitter that, there's an artwork that essentially secured this big milestone, the 10K milestone, and then started going viral. And then in one evening, 21 million tokens were minted out completely. So this essentially, kind of, I guess, highlighted the concept behind of the artwork, which was to, explore this idea of network effects, of how value gets aggregated through network effects, the concept of speculation, the concept of financialization of art on chain, and so on. So it's let's say in that regard, it was very unexpected success. But even more importantly, what it gave me was a community of people. Literally overnight, I got over 1,000 people who I started to interact with, who I started to message with, who I started to talk with. And all of us together were kind of very excited about thinking, how can we experiment with merging art and runes and ordinals, like this interesting trifecta. And then through experimentation, a few of us together realized that we can have a rune token and associate essentially there's this field where you can choose what's the logo of the token. Like, is it the image of a dog, or is it the image of how is the token visually represented? And what we realized is we can actually reference any inscription any artwork that's already on Bitcoin, or we can create a new artwork that would be inscribed when the token is deployed, or in Runes we call it etched. So being an artist and talking with a lot of these other very creative people, we thought to ourselves like, what this means is we can actually create a unique artwork, inscribe it on Bitcoin, and then have tokens linked to it that are provably forever going to be linked to it. And then if we burn this artwork, if we make this ordinal now like not essentially tradable anymore, not collectible anymore, so we just send it to an address where it can never be retrieved again. It's still on the blockchain, it's visible, but you can never transfer it, so it's kind of like frozen on chain. And these tokens are still associated with it. They, in an unusual way, become like a way to participate in this piece, to be a steward of this piece. They in a way become the proxy for this artwork. So it's a very interesting format that we started to experiment with of art participation on Bitcoin, or how can multiple people be a part of one single artwork.